All right. I think we should be good now. I believe round two, take like 10. I think we should be good. What's up, Whisper Nation? Welcome in on this Sunday morning. We are gonna try to get to as many news and notes and sit starts as possible before somebody's got to get out of here. So, Summy, I was asking you the other day, in the last stream before it ended. Let me know, Whisper Nation, too, if you can hear Summy now.
Yep.
What is a guy that or a game that you are looking forward today on today's slate?
Yeah, the game that's got me the most excited today is probably this Buffalo and Los Angeles game. I think it's a game that could be a little bit more high scoring than a lot of people hope. I'm really curious to see if Josh Allen, after going up against two extremely soft defenses to open up the year, and as his MVP chants get louder and louder, I'm curious to see if he's for real.
Yeah.
Um, the Rams are the second best secondary in the league, behind the Patriots, surprisingly. Well, unsurprisingly. But the Rams have been playing out of their mind on defense, and that's impressive to them, because they lost Wade Phillips, and I think that's impressive in itself. But this seems like a top three team in the NFC, and I'm really curious to see, how this kind of shakes out between, a top three team in the AFC potentially versus the Rams, who are coming back as contenders, and Goff too. I mean, listen, Goff is, we've seen him kind of choke in big games, and I'm curious to see if he can be as consistent as he was about 2 years ago, and yeah, I'm really excited about that game. And then obviously we have the Monday night game tomorrow, but we can talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. But yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be really really fun to watch. All
best
right.
game of the year so far.
All right, Summy. So I want to quickly go over the ins and outs. Just dive in, and if you have any input, just stop me. All right. So wild story here. The source of the Falcons and the Bears game is officially on, despite Atlanta's corner AJ Terrell being placed on the COVID list. This was a wild story. There was almost going to be the Bears against the whole entire practice squad of Atlanta for a second. So good to go there. All right, all players, you're good. But the main story here is Julio, who is now officially out for today's game against the Chicago Bears. You like this from a fantasy perspective, as far as you want to see him get healthy. But where are you looking as far as wide receivers here? So Calvin Ridley? You're starting, obviously. But Russell Gage, talk to me about Russell Gage. Are you comfortable starting Russell Gage against a Bears defense that has given up the most yards to a receiver would be 85 all season? They have not given up any passing touchdowns. So
Right.
do you start Russell Gage knowing that the Bears defense has been pretty stout against the wide receivers this year?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Russell Gage, he was already in that wide receiver three flex conversation, even with Julio there, right? He seems to be the garbage time king over the first 2 weeks. I think I'm really comfortable starting Russell Gage. That's not a problem at all. But one player that I'm thinking maybe might be flying under the radar here is Hayden Hurst. I think his
Your
target share
boy.
gets, yeah, he gets a bump up.
Yeah.
I mean today, and the Bears are, they're not a soft defense by any means, but they have been susceptible to tight ends from time to time. They're in the bottom half when it comes to defending against a tight end and giving up fantasy points to a tight end. They're in the bottom 10, so that's something to note. And I think Matt Ryan's going to have to rely on the over the middle of the field option to kind of move the ball here against the Bears defense. So fire up Russell Gage, as a wide back end wide receiver two, no, high end wide receiver three ish at best. Don't expect anything more than that. But Hayden Hurst, I think he finishes as a top 8 this week, top 8 tight end.
I love that call. I do think that's a really good. And the Bears actually have been susceptible to the tight end position this year as well. All right, we have Rappaport saying Deebo Samuel likely to return in week 5. I know we want to get to Sunday's slates here, but is he worth picking up right now before these games kick off and keep as a stash?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a 12-man and he's still on your waiver, I'd like to join your league, number one. So give me a call. But number two, yeah, absolutely pick him up. And if you have an IR spot, you should have him in there already. You should take full advantage of that IR spot there. If you don't have an IR spot, you should still burn a bench spot for a guy like Debo, who's going to be coming back to a team that's depleted of offensive weapons. I mean, today we're thinking about McKinnon and Jordan Reed. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Kendrick Bourne maybe. But look at the receivers here. Like, you want a guy that's going to assume the alpha position as soon as he comes back, and we know Debo's that guy.
So I do want to ask you, Summy. You are, the New England Patriots pretty well. That is your team that you like to root for. So big news last night. That was kind of a little low key. The center for the Patriots.
I don't want to talk about it.
So the center for the Patriots has been officially been ruled out and placed on IR, but it is the short-term IR. Now, how does this affect Cam? You also have on the other side of the ball, you have the Raiders tight end Darren Waller is good to go for week 3. So I have a two-part question. What do you think the not having the center will affect New England? And then on the other side, do you think New England, because Bill Belichick is known for taking out the best weapon for the opposing teams, and that is clearly Waller. So do you think fantasy owners should be cautious with Darren Waller today and maybe pivot if they have like a Jonnu Smith or something like that? Or would you still start him no matter what?
I mean, Waller, you've kind of got to start, right? Because he leads the league in target market share, and it's even if New England doubles Waller, I think Carr is going to look to Waller often today. What other weapons do you have, right? You have the rookie Ruggs, right? Who's a little bit banged up right now as well.
He's
But we
out.
saw,
Is he? He might be out.
I believe he is out, right?
Yeah, he is out today.
He is out. So we saw what Ruggs did for Waller last week, right? He kind of stretched the field vertically for Waller to soak up all those targets underneath. So if Ruggs is not in today, I mean, it makes Waller's matchup a little bit more difficult than it already was. As far as David Andrew goes, Big Bear, the center for the New England Patriots, we missed the entire season last season without him, and it was tough. David Andrews is such an integral part to this offense, where he's making checks at the line of scrimmage. He's calling protection. Cam, who's still new to the system, could really lean and rely on someone like David Andrews, who's been in the system for a couple of years now, and he knows the protections and the calls. And I think David Andrews and Cam, they have a solid relationship going. And obviously you have to, as a quarterback with your center, that's one of the key relationships that you have to have on the offensive line. So I think it's definitely a big loss, but I also think that they should be just fine, at least for this week, because Las Vegas is actually really bad against the run. If I could just pull up the stats right here, I can actually show you. Las Vegas actually ranks, I will tell you right now, 22nd against the run.
Yeah.
And they're 31st against the pass as well. And this is not fantasy points. This is actual football, right? This is the metrics of the players on the field. So I think, New England can gash him multiple ways with Cam on the ground, or we saw what Cam did throwing up 396 yards, 97 yards last week. I think, they can find Element and Nikhil. They could both go off today as well.
All right, so we got Seth here. Big Travi's been awesome. He's been in the comments, working the comments for us. Seth, he had asked Melvin Gordon or CeeDee Lamb or Russell Gage this week. Big Travi said Russell Gage with Julio out should get a lot of volume. I would probably go CeeDee Lamb though, because of that, because he's against Seattle and they are going to be putting up a lot of points. And I expect CeeDee Lamb to have a monster day. And like I said, I am nervous about the Bears corners locking up wide receivers. So that's kind of where I would go.
Yeah, I mean, so Melvin Gordon kind of throws a wrench in there, but also going against this Tampa Bay run defense, it's no small task. And we saw what Melvin Gordon did against Pittsburgh last week. He had a serviceable game, but Tampa Bay is also. You have to keep in mind Jeff Driscoll is going to be under center, not Drew Lock, right? So that's also something to consider. I don't like Melvin Gordon at all this week. I would probably side with CeeDee Lamb myself in a game that's going to be a potential shootout. And I think with a team that can't get any pressure in the Seahawks and the offensive line worries that the Cowboys have been having, I think this is a really good matchup for Dak, because he'll have the opportunity to let those longer routes develop, have some more time in the pocket, a little bit more breathing room. Because if they send Jamal Adams to rush, Dak is good enough to identify that weakness or soft spot in coverage, and he's able to kind of pick that apart. So I'm pretty sure that Seattle will adjust, Pete Carroll will adjust, and won't rush Adams too much. Therefore, it'll leave Dak, some time in the pocket, and I think CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, both those guys can have a big game today.
All right. Just a couple more things, of course. I know you have to get out of here, Summy. Bengals are making former first-round wide receiver John Ross a healthy and active. Interesting, considering Michael Thomas played and balled out for the Bengals last week, and he's
Mike Thomas.
Yeah, the Bengals, funny. Mike Thomas.
The Bengals, Mike. We have to identify. We have to let you guys know which Mike Thomas we're talking about because they're both so good.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. David Johnson. It's saying Duke Johnson is a long shot for week 3, so it looks like David Johnson will get the bulk of the carries there again. Sammy Watkins is practicing full, questionable for Monday Night Football. Let me ask you this question: if you've got Traequan Smith going tonight, or you have Mecole Hardman on your bench waiting for this news, you're going to go with Traequan, right?
Yeah, you kind of have to. I mean, I don't think that working out gets you out of the concussion protocol. I'm not sure if Sammy's out of the concussion protocol yet, so he might have logged a full practice. I'm not sure if he's completely out of the protocol. But still, like Mecole Hardman, he's a big play waiting to happen. I'm not comfortable with his snap count, though. I'm not comfortable with his involvement. To my surprise, Traequan Smith was a lot more involved last week. I thought it would be Deontay Harris, that speedster. He's a kick returner on special teams, but he was kind of relegated. But Traequan Smith was involved, so he played that true X role with the absence of Michael Thomas, and I think Traequan would be the better option here if you have to decide between the two.
Yeah. All right. They just said that both Edelman and I didn't even know N'Keal Harry was questionable for this game, but both of them are good to go. So we're all good there.
And they put like 15 players on questionable tags and make you guess which one is actually hurt,
Right. That's like, all right. Trey S. Morning, gents. Good morning, Trey. Full PPR. Gurley, Singletary, or Deontay Johnson.
Ooh, full PPR.
I would scratch Gurley automatically because Gurley has one more receiving yard than the two of us have on the show.
And we are not NFL players.
And we are not NFL players.
If you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell.
So sorry, where did you end up going there?
If it's full PPR, I'm going Deontay. If it's half PPR, I'm probably going Singletary. Only because Deontay's target share is through the roof. He's going to assume the one in this offense sooner rather than later. And I think this week against Houston, Bradley Roby, he's in for a long day at work today. Deontay Johnson's going to burn him a couple times. So
that'll be fun. Do I have you for 3 more minutes, Sammy, or do you got to go right now?
Sure.
All right,
3 more minutes.
All right, we're starting to get a little pop off here, so I'll do rapid fire here. All right, Pittman versus Hamler, or pick up Harry. Probably pick up Harry, right? N'Keal Harry.
Pittman versus Hamler. Pittman, good long-term hold. Hamler, I'm not too comfortable with Driscoll, although Driscoll does stretch the field and makes crazy reckless plays sometimes. N'Keal Harry, second option on an offense that won't be passing as often. I think Harry's the best bet there, but Hamler also has some massive upside. So depending on what your team needs, that's where you go.
All right. We have Christopher Hannon asking Gallup or John Brown. I'd go Gallup. Yeah, get Gallup any. You want that high over under. That's going to be a real fun shootout.
Well, it's not even about the over under. I mean, let me just tell you really quickly with Michael Gallup. I mean, that slot corner, that matchup that he has today, or if he moves into the slot, he has Ugo Amadi, but he has Quentin Dunbar on the left side, and Quentin Dunbar's let up 2 yards per route run, nearly a 60% completion percentage. Michael Gallup, he's gonna have some time to run deep routes with no pressure coming off the edge on Dak Prescott, and I think Gallup has a huge game today.
All right. Appreciate all 10 of you that are watching right now. If you are new to our channel, please like and subscribe. We'll get to as many questions as possible. All right. So we have, let's see. We got Darren Waller or Hawkinson. Hawkinson.
Give me Hawkinson in a potential shootout over Waller, who might be double covered all game. Bill's gonna take away the best option.
Okay.
I like Hawkinson. Even with Hawks limited target involvement. I understand. It might be a potential shootout though, and I think Kenny Galladay coming back opens things up a little bit underneath as well.
All right.
Even if he is a decoy.
Okay.
Well, why? Give me a contrarian take.
Well, the Cardinals have actually been really, really good against the tight end position this year. They've not let up a big game yet, and T.J. Hawkinson has seen a diminished role in this offense already, and now you are adding Kenny G, and so I just don't think that I would roll out Hawkins. I would roll the dice on Darren Waller and say, I believe in his talent that they'll get him the ball some way. That's where I would go. But
for sure, no, I totally see that as well, and that's a very valid take. And you got me kind of second guessing it myself. I'm just afraid about what Bill can do to the number one option.
Yeah, that is very true. I will give you that because that has scared me as well. All right, Melvin Gordon. Trey S has one. He says one more. Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, or Jarvis Landry. Full PPR.
Leonard Fournette, hands down. They're road favorites. Tom Brady hasn't really performed in Denver as often as we would like, but Leonard Fournette, I think this defense is going to be dominant against a backup quarterback. And if the defense is dominant, you want the running back on that team. You know, if they're going to be favorites, they're going to be running down the clock. And I think Lenny finds pay dirt again this week as well.
I agree with that. All right. Hey, guys, Josh Castillo. Hey, guys, 2 questions. With Devontae Adams being game time decision tonight, which we forgot to talk about, should I risk it and start him, or should I start Russell Gage second 49ers defense or Bucks defense? And he had said that's half PPR.
Wait, so it's Gage or Adams, and then the second one was what?
Is 49ers defense or Bucks defense?
So I would roll with the Bucks defense over 49ers just because they're a little bit injured. They're very depleted. I like the Bucks defense to get better as the season goes on, and Devin White and Lavonte David, those guys have been playing out of their freaking minds. So linebacking core is there. Their corners are solid. Their safety, Antoine Winfield, the rookie, he's been playing absolutely fantastic. I just think this defense is going to start clicking on all cylinders starting this week. So I'd roll with the Bucks defense, and then the option was between Russell Gage or Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
I would 100% roll with Russell Gage there. I don't think Devontae Adams plays because, listen, they're 2-0 right now. Why risk your stud when you can save him for the stretch, right? Like, I don't think you need him. Aaron Rodgers playing out of his mind right now. They can sit him for a week and let him get healthy.
All right, last one. We'll get you out of here, Summy. All right, we got BGWU asks Gallup or Cup. Also, start or sit Jordan Reed. I would start Jordan Reed, so I'll make that easy for you. But this one is tough. Gallup or Cup. So you have Cup, who is, getting a lot of snap shares. He's getting he's seeing the field a lot, which we didn't expect. But he hasn't produced fantasy-wise. But you have Gallup, who has a nice and juicy and tantalizing matchup that you have. So where would you go here?
I think this you're setting me out on a really tough one here.
Sorry,
so I love both.
I had to do it.
So I love Michael Gallup this week. However, Cooper Kupp's matchup with Taron Johnson in the slot is also very, very juicy. And I think with Tre'Davious White on the corner covering Woods, I think it funnels to the middle of the field, whether it be Higbee, which Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds, they're both playing. So Higbee, it's a tick down for me as far as my confidence in him. So I think Cooper Kupp is the other option in the middle of the field. Him and Darrell Henderson, on Texas or angle routes over the middle, maybe. I like Cooper Kupp a lot this week too. I think he puts up his best stat line of the year this week, and again, this is going to be a game that's going to be a little bit more high scoring than a lot of us think. That's my take on it, at least. But I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Half PPR, I would probably just draw a short stick, and whoever gets a shorter stick, you bench him.
There you go. All right, Summy. Well, I appreciate you so much for joining us this morning. We will have you on the show a lot more. If you want to find more of Summy's awesome takes, you can find him on Twitter at SummyTFW, or check us out on our show.
Yes, sir.
All right, Summy.
All right. Enjoy your week 3, guys. Johnny, I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, man.
Good luck this week, all right?
Appreciate you, buddy. Take it easy. Have a good one. All right.
You too.
Bye. All right, so Whisper Nation, we will, let me, if I can transition here. And I'm going to go into a solo mode, and then I'll get to your questions as soon as possible. So, transition over here. Bear with me, Whisper Nation. I am still here. I'm just trying to pull up a solo screen here. And then I will get to all of your questions. I promise. Maybe. For some reason, it is not allowing me to do this. All right, I'm going to pull up. Try this a different way here. Oh, no wonder. What is going on? All right. I think I'm back. Whisper Nation. Thank you for hanging in there. All right. Let's get to these questions. I was going. Big Travie has been awesome in the chat here. So he's been asking a bunch of these. So Blue Crew Chep, PPR quarterback, Herbert, Watson, or Breeze. I would go with Watson. I understand it's not the best matchup, but he has the highest upside there. Breeze, I'm really nervous for. Okay, now let's see. We got BGW. Do you trust Judy and Waller? Again, Judy is going to be he's going to be being thrown the ball by Jeff Driscoll. So that is definitely a concern for sure. I don't feel super confident, but he is getting a lot of targets there. He's getting 7, 8 targets, so you like that. He's got the talent. Waller, they could double him. I don't love the matchup today, but you drafted him as your starting tight end. So unless you have like a Jonnu Smith or you're able to pick up I don't know, another maybe possible waiver wire tight end that might have, but I would most likely be going with Waller today. Not Exotic said start Galladay or Brandon Cooks. I would go with Ken. Oh, there it goes. It just shut me off. Knew that was going to happen. let's go full screen here. Transition. Come on. All right. My live stream, everybody, is not wanting to cooperate with me. So I am going to have to jump off here. Until next time, I apologize. I am really sorry that our stream messed up today. We'll make sure to get back with a lot of you and answer your questions in this chat. All right. Until next time, that's I'm Johnny Game Time Mix. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye, Whisper Nation.